Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Running Point on ysnlive.com. Brought to you by those guys right there, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. This is a Friday episode, and Fridays are the best days of the week because that means it's the weekend. TTIF. Anthony Hartwig alongside Mr. Ty Bartell. I bet he's in red. Nope, black today. Red and black.
Gotta rep black on Fridays, right?
If you want to be Black Friday, which I'm sure is a nightmare day for you, who is a employee of Target.
you just gave me some flashbacks right there. I just start having a melt.
Although, you know what? You don't even work with customers. You're in the back loading stuff.
What are
You're
you
fine.
doing to me, man?
You're fine. You don't even interact with people.
Might as well call it a Black Friday here on YSN's Running Point because it's always organized chaos. It seems like daily here, and we always love bringing you the chaos that the sports of the local variety always brings us day to day.
We're like the Joker. I'm an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
When we say that we have the district champion set for softball, we mean it. Every district has been decided, and regionals are set for the state. The Sweet 16 is locked in for softball, and now we have districts locked in for baseball as well. So I guess you could say at the round of, it's not 32. It's more than 32, I think, right now in the state of Ohio. It might be 32 straight up.
But 16 in each region, right? No, it's 16 in each. No, it's 4.
Because it's 16 with regional, so
32. 32 for all the four divisions.
32 is the district championships, right? And then this one would be whatever.
I think so. Yeah, something like that. Because teams are it's a little odd because there's always different teams. But right. I think you're right. Once you get the districts, it's the 32, then it's 16.
I went right to the rabbit hole with that, and then I got out of it. I don't even know.
The regional finals are final 8. Regional semis are 16. District championships, I would think, are 32 then, right? Because you would just
in the round of 64. Here we go.
Is it? I would assume if basic math proves that's right, you just double what the last number was because there was that many teams, right?
Sectionals are wonky because there's some brackets with more sectional teams.
Well, sometimes there's sectional semis, and sometimes a team won't even play them and not be a high seed.
Every bracket has 4 district semifinalists, so I think it's safe to say that there's 64 teams left in baseball right now.
And that's really cool to see too. That across the board right now as we are.
Caveat tee out because I forgot there is one sectional final in the YSN family that is yet to be decided, and that is tonight with Mineral Ridge still playing St. Thomas Aquinas. So
we won't discuss until we get the districts. We'll just call it 32 once you get the district. Right. It's up in the air for sectionals.
It's still round of 63, I guess. There's one ticket to be punched. All right.
But no, a lot of results happened in the baseball world. The road to Akron, it's actually one of the biggest cuts that we've seen too from the sectionals too, where it gets a lot shorter for a lot of these teams. Yeah. And of course, I mean, for these teams that won their district championships, I mean, the road to Akron, it's in sight. Firestone is in sight now.
Ty, there were 5 district championships last night that featured YSN schools, and that was 5 district championships, 6 YSN schools because Canfield and Poland were playing each other. And it was a wild night of softball. Every game that YSN schools did not win, except for the Poland, Canfield Poland. Every game the YSN schools did not win against non-YSN teams came down to 1 run. And then the other 3 were YSN winners. So it was a pretty good night for YSN softball, I would say. You know, when you have 3 winners and then you have 2 teams that were playing much higher seeds that lost by 1 run, then I think that's a pretty good night at the office.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't be more proud of the softball that we've seen from around the area. And hey, right now we got so far 3 of the 5 games have resulted in YSN teams moving on to a regional semi. And like you said, a couple of our teams that fell short. We'll get to talking to both of those teams
Do
respectively.
you want to start with the bad news or the good news? Are you a good news first guy or a
Well,
bad?
we had a lot more good news. So, I mean, it's up to you. Do you want to start with, I mean, if you want to go with bad news, the 2 that we had, but I think there was a lot of good news around the area because we saw a lot of advancements.
Let's get the uncomfortable, not uncomfortable, but the
Yeah.
unpleasant conversation out of the way. And we never like to see seasons end, but unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to 10 seniors on the Boardman softball team as they fell last night 2-1 to Walsh Jesuit. Walsh walked it off in the bottom of the 7th. Man, Boardman put up a heck of a fight. They just could not get that one extra hit around. They had the runners on first and second with 1 out in the 5th. That was their biggest opportunity to kind of take the lead tied at 1. But they couldn't do it. And then Walsh, they came up with the big play in the bottom of the 7th. They hit the walk-off, and it was 2-1. Tori Strines got the lone RBI of the day for Boardman. She hit a sac fly to score. I believe Dana Haas scored on that sac fly. So, 1-1 game for most of the game. I think that was in the bottom of the 3rd, or top of the 3rd, excuse me, to tie the game at 1. And then Tori pitched a heck of a game the rest of the way, and Walsh just came away with the 2-1 win.
Huge step up by Tori Strines in this one, and nothing to be disappointed about. I mean, obviously, you're disappointed you don't make it there, but like I've always said, there's only 4 teams that win state every year. So you can't just be only one of 4 teams to say, okay, well, it was a good season, and that be the only takeaway, and everyone else had a bad season. No, not at all. Not the case at all. A lot to take away from this Boardman season. District runner-ups is nothing to be ashamed of in this. And I mean, heck, beating New Philadelphia and having those kind of memories, too, to get here, that's going to serve them, I think, so well going into the future because it's going to be one that they're never going to forget.
And despite losing 10 seniors, they still have a good bushel of young talent coming back. Tori Strine's obviously coming back. Maddie Weimer's going to come back as well, so the battery's going to be intact between those two. Natalie Davis should be healthy next year to kind of go and still give them that 1-2 punch in the circle.
Which I think is going to be really beneficial for Boardman going into next season, still as having that 1-2 punch in the circle.
You're going to have some other really good players come out of JV. Their JV, I believe, only lost 1 game this year. So they're talented in JV. They're going to bring up some other people off that team, and they're going to be very contentious in that AAC that we think is going to be just as strong next year. With, of course, we're talking about Canfield a little bit later, but Canfield bringing a lot back. Fitch is obviously bringing a lot back.
Howland has a bunch of young hitters too that are just tearing the world up right now. So
it's all youth in the AAC, so it should be fun next year, and Boardman will be a part of that conversation for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, again, best of luck to all the seniors of the Boardman Spartans on their future endeavors and their future goals. We've actually had, I believe, almost all of them, if not all of them, on the running point.
We've only had 4 out of the 10 seniors, but we've had a lot of other people.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Boardmen, but we've had some seniors on too, and of course we always have that door open too for the other seniors as well. It's always
you want to come on, you come on. You just
open door policy here on Running Point, but you could always catch those ones on ysnlive.com if you haven't too, to get to know a little bit more about some of the personalities that's in this board.
Actually, I think Maddie Lester was one of the first players that we did way back in the beginning of the season.
She did.
So
she was one of the first ones.
She kicked us off, and she's going to play at Cal U for softball. And best of luck to everybody that graduates from Boardman for continued success in whatever they pursue in their future. We congratulate everyone on a great season. Fred Moots, one of our favorites. We know that. We've had him on the show. He always comments. We love Fred, and we know that we'll be seeing him umpiring around in travel ball season.
Yeah, I love what Fred does too. He's a great guy for the game, great coach too. And definitely has an impact on all those girls too, because I mean it's pretty much the same cut and dry answer from every single one of them of how much they love him and what he's about to over there.
And his phrase, "When you get down, don't get down." Right?
When you get down,
right now they're down because they lost. Don't get down. Just come back next year, be fine. We go to Division II. Canfield versus Poland, someone YSN had to lose. So unfortunately for Poland, we have to say goodbye to 3 seniors with Connie Cougars, Emily Denny, and Abby Farber. Farber going on to play in college. So is Denny, as far as softball goes. And this was a great game. It was round 3, right? And Melina Toth just said, I don't care if you see me twice. I'm going to dominate. And that's what she did. 13 strikeouts on the night. No runs, I think 4 hits. And dominant performance from Melina Toth, who has now given up just 1 run in 2 district games so far this season.
Yeah, she's huge. She's huge. Another one of those young, talented pitchers inside this AAC. Only a sophomore is Toth, and I mean, continuing to kind of bear the weight of the pitching performances in that circle, and continuing to just put up masterful performances. I mean, Canfield scored 4 runs, but they didn't need it last night. She did more than enough to help her team to victory. I mean, solid performance from Melina Toth last night.
The biggest bat in the Canfield lineup was Maddie Angelo. She hit a home run off of McDonald, and it was a 2-run shot. So
Maddie Angelo can hit dingers off of anybody.
2 RBI on the night for Angelo, and Katie McDonald did not pitch bad. I mean, 7 hits, 4 runs, less strikeouts than normal. Canfield did a good job putting the ball in play. She only struck out 3 Canfield batters. So. But Katie McDonald did not pitch bad at all, and she's coming back. She's not a senior, so
yeah, just a junior. So that's going to help Poland out a lot. But like we said, I mean, overall, Maddie Angelo too. What else can you say on that too? She's able, like I said, to hit home runs off of anybody. One of the better bats, I think, in the area too, and a one that flies under the radar. But I mean, she's definitely one that I think in the YSN family and in this area, she's one of the most dangerous bats that we have.
Canfield will move on to play Worcester Triway in the regional semifinals. That'll be Wednesday at 2:00 at Nordonia High School.
Should be interesting too. We obviously wish the Cards the best of luck too. This is going to be we were talking a bit off the show, but about this, and this is going to be a pretty big boulder that sits in the road to Akron for Canfield.
Everyone in D2 knows what Triway is about. Triway is a very good softball team. They went all the way to the state championship game last year, lost to LaGrange Keystone. They have multiple Division I players on their roster. They have a sophomore pitcher whose name escapes me. I'm sure Steve Ward will pop in.
The softball extraordinaire.
He knows names better than I do. Like, I know these pitchers and I know what they bring, but he knows names a lot better than I do. I know Haley Massaro in their lineup is going to Ohio State. I know they have a couple other Power 5 players in their lineup, and their pitcher is a sophomore who will probably be a Power 5 pitcher in the future. They're just stacked. Triway is stacked. They're probably one of the best Division II teams in the state. So like you said, it's a big boulder, which is, daunting for Canfield, but good news, they get past it, and that door swings wide open for state.
Yeah, I mean, not that there's really pebbles that are on the road after that. There's still boulders. There's still rocks. I mean, this might be one of the biggest boulders that's sitting your way to Firestone.
It's like if you're going to the final, if you're going to the Elite 8 and you beat like the 1 seed Duke in basketball, you're like, well, if I can beat Duke, then if we play like that, we can beat anybody. So yes, it'll still be tough for Canfield, but they would have to feel like if we just beat Triway and we play like that, then we can beat anybody.
Why not us, Canfield, right? Let's go in there with that mentality. Let's get it. I mean, you've played some of the best and competed with some of the best of the best. Let's go. Let's get another team to a regional final. I'd love nothing more than to see Canfield in for the Division II. And I believe right now I am our lone Division II representative. So let's go, Cards.
They've really picked it up since that tough start to the season when they saw themselves open with 2 losses to Fitch, and I believe they were 1-4 in the first 5 games. And then they I think what woke them up was that first win over Poland a little bit. Their offense kind of clicked together. They scored 8 runs on Poland in the first meeting between the 2 teams at Poland, and I feel like their offense had been rolling ever since. Poland got the best of them at Canfield, but that was a part of the week where they won 4 games out of 5. And they were all upper division, really good teams on that schedule. They beat Willoughby South. They beat Aurora in the regular season. They beat them in the tournament too. So Canfield was really rolling after that win over Poland the first time. And I think it's not lost on the irony side of things that they kind of beat Poland to get to the regionals either.
you could tip your cap, and I'll tip my figurative cap to Canfield too, because we were both questioning a little bit on why they took that long extended break for spring break in the middle of the season. But whatever it did, it cleared their heads, and hey, and whatever works, it works, and that's exactly what Canfield's showing right now. They're all the way into the regional semis now, and maybe it was exactly what they needed to just clear their heads. Sometimes you need that break, that spring break. Maybe Canfield didn't have that opportunity to go out of town, so they just said, "Why don't we just take a step away from softball, focus on the team a little bit, and let's bring us closer together that way." And I mean, whatever worked, it worked.
It worked. I want to look at the remaining district in Division II, since we do have a representative there, as we look at the Division II regional bracket. And once again, this will be in Macedonia, which is Nordonia High School, and the other matchup in this region is going to be the winner of the Canton region, which was Akron-Hoban. They won, and Akron-Hoban will play the winner of the Hubbard region, which was Mogador Field, upsetting Marlington.
I saw that last night. I couldn't believe that Field beat Marlington, but
whoa,
big win against the Dukes too for Mogador Field, as not a team that I have any we at YSN have any dogs in the fight with, as they're not a part of the family, but they can be. I kind of am I'm kind of giving my old head nods to Field over there, and I'm kind of paying attention to what they're doing, because after beating Marlington like that, I might be not silently rooting for them, but I mean, I might be looking over at them too. Kind of exciting, because anytime you beat a team like Marlington, I think it raises some eyes.
So the regional semis in that region are going to be Hoban versus Field and Canfield versus Triway. That is Region 5 in Division 2, and it will be played at Nordonia. Canfield, the 2 o'clock game. Hoban versus Field will be the 5 o'clock game in Nordonia.
Should be a fun one.
We go to Division 3. We have 2 representatives in the regionals, and it was because South Range got their 9th district championship in 12 seasons with a 5-1 win over Gilmore Academy. This was a game that it was a pitcher's duel for a while, and I was kind of shocked. Both these offenses were rolling into this game, especially Gilmore Academy. I was like, I don't know if you had pitcher's duel in your bingo card, but here we go. It was 1-1, and then enter Gretchen Bartels. Came into last night with no home runs in the season. She exited last night with 2. She hit a 3-run shot in the 4th. They gave the Raiders a 4-1 lead, and then she doubled up with it on the 6th with a solo shot to push that lead to 5-1. The tandem of Suzani and Stakowicz took care of the rest. He split those. DeRose just said Suzani's pitching 4 innings, Stakowicz is pitching 3. And I don't know if that had to do with taking a 4-1 lead, and that made it easier to make that decision, or if he was going to do that no matter what. But Stakowicz came in after Bartels hit the 3-run home run, and with a 4-1 lead, and Stakowicz coming in fresh, she came in hot. She walked the first batter in 4 pitches that she faced, and then after that, it was like mowing him down. She struck out 5, and this is a duel. Right. She struck out 5 in 3 innings, and this is a Gilmore team that does not strike out.
And I mean, started stacking those two. And I mean, I obviously wish I could claim relation to Gretchen Bartels, but unfortunately cannot.
There's no S at the end of your
I know there's no S at the end of mine. I can't claim relation. I wish I could too. She's a superstar. She proved it again last night. And what you told me too, Ann, the biggest thing that really shocked me, no home runs all season.
20 RBI.
No, absolutely. No, a great bat. But that just goes to show why you never take the numbers you see at face value. And it's funny because baseball and softball are such sports about numbers and stats, but you can't even look at those and say, well, this is going to tell the whole story, because it doesn't even tell a part of it.
If South Range gets contributions from their 7-hitter like that, good afternoon, good evening, good night, right?
Yeah.
Jamie Farron hit. What?
1 win, and then for 2 teams, they need 1 win for this repeat that we're all hoping for it.
What did I tell you? The closer we get, the more anticipation is going to build for that matchup. But back to South Range real quick. Jamie Farron had a triple. She was knocked in by Kelly Zolik, who had the 5th RBI of the day for South Range. And that was pretty much the offense. I mean, couple of hits, couple of walks, but for the most part, it was Gretchen Bartel's home run, 2 home runs, and Kelly Zolik with a single to score Jamie Farron after a triple. Molinaric from Gilmore Academy did a pretty good job pitching against this lineup, especially the top of it.
It's the thing you love about this sport is that sometimes the biggest contributions come from the most unlikely sources too. And not that Gretchen Bartels, like you said, 20 RBIs is the most unlikely source, but like you said, when it's the bottom third of your order coming up big, bringing in that kind of production, that many runs, I mean, what else can you ask for?
If you need a glimpse on how good the lineup is, she's hitting 333 and she's hitting 7th. So, still a really good bat at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not known for her power coming into that night, and now she is. Now she is for sure.
A lot of big names
joining us at 1:00 on the show to talk about that night and talk about that game and what it felt like to hit those 2 home runs and what the Raiders are going to be looking at moving forward. We go into Ursuline, and the Irish get the win over Rootstown, and this was a win that it took a little bit for the Irish to really get going. But then once they caught fire, it was like 4 runs, 3 runs, and they were up 7-1 before you could blink.
And yeah, you mentioned, I believe, too, a little bit of an injury to Rootstown's star pitcher, too. So that kind of takes the wind out of the sails a little bit. But you got to always credit Ursuline doing what great teams do. They realized that. They took advantage of it, wasted little time in jumping on that offensively, getting themselves a lead, and got out of there with a district championship now. Congrats to Ursuline. Now they've made it to the regional semis. And, everyone in Irish community right now is thinking about a certain matchup of happening too for a regional championship.
One more, take care of business one more time.
Absolutely. But what was really eerie is even what you told me, what the other ends of these regional semis look like and who South Range and Ursuline are playing.
Yeah, South Range, Tuslaw. That was the matchup last year. Ursuline Northwestern, same thing. So the regional is copy and paste. And obviously the other 2 teams are hoping that it goes the opposite way. But, we could be looking at another matchup right now it's scheduled for Ravenna, but I imagine if South Range and Ursuline both win, it'll jot down to YSU.
You would think because they moved that Canfield polling game. As long as YSU's open, the facility's open to be used, I don't see a reason why not move a regional final down there.
Final score of that game, by the way, for Ursuline was 7-0. And even if the pitcher for Rootstown didn't get hurt, it would have been a tough task to go against Paige Ogden, as Kreger only pitched 2/3 of an inning before she had to leave the game. Didn't leave the game, actually still hit, just couldn't pitch anymore. Ogden went 7 innings, only gave up 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 14. So
she's dynamic, man. We've had her on Running Point too. She's been featured on here too, interviews, and you can find them on ysnlive.com. She's electric.
Alyssa Shealy went 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. The top of the order. We talked about her at length yesterday too. That top of the order, put one of your best hitters, especially best extra base hitters at the top. That can be lethal for a pitching staff. And then Liza Barbado hit her 2nd home run in 2 days, and she cranked one over the fence for Ursuline in the game as well.
Ursuline knows offense, man. That's just what the Irish are all about. They know offense.
They can pitch too. Don't they can pitch.
I mean, yeah.
You know what? You want some more funny stuff? Last year, even though Ursuline had Emily Holland, who was a star pitcher and is a senior, Paige Ogden got the start against South Range. And I would be shocked if she didn't get the start if those 2 teams were so it would literally be mirror images of each other. Now South Range.
The only other way that it would get even more eerie is somehow you find out that Bree Kohler has
got a year left of eligibility.
We just found out like she was actually a senior this year the whole time, and you could bring her back to pitch. Like that's the only way it gets a little more eerie.
5th-year grad student, bring her in.
But no, I mean this is congrats to both teams, and I like going 2 for 2 in Division III, especially when they were both playing non-YSN teams. That means twice as much of a shot at getting a team to state. And unfortunately, only one of these teams can make it, but we're definitely hoping for an all YSN regional final.
So the region will look like this. Down in Ravenna on Wednesday, South Range will play Tuslaw at 1:00, and then Ursuline will play Northwestern at 4:00. Not Northwestern College. They're not playing the Wildcats. They're busy themselves in their own regional down in Chicago. No, Salem Northwestern. So that'll be the regional matchups. And those will be in Ravenna, 1 and 4:00 on Wednesday. South Range first, Ursuline second.
And I mean, when we're like you said too, some really early start times, folks. So make sure you plan accordingly and plan ahead too, especially those that might need to be making some plans with either work or whatever have you too, what other kind of activities you got going on in the morning, because it's going to be early day softball.
There's one South Range parent she said she can't go. No, there's no way to get off work. It sucks. They have to play at 1:00, but it's reality, right?
It is, but that's why we take care of you here too. And I mean, in situations like that, where if you absolutely can't go and get out there to support these teams, we got you covered, and we'll get you covered with all the games too. So you could watch that one, and you could watch the Ursuline one directly after too for one payment.
Here's a spoiler: Running Point on Wednesday might look a little different. Anthony's got places to be.
What's that?
Anthony's got places to be. So Wednesday's Running Point might look a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony's got some places to be with that one too. So we'll keep you updated on what the plans are.
Perfect world. I would love to do Running Point live from Ravenna.
Oh, just do it. Right?
I'll see if I can get up there in time to sit up and see if there's a connection strong enough to do the show. But perfect world. I'd love to do Running Point live from Ravenna right before the regionals.
That'd be really cool too, to kind of give that preview of those games too, and to just talk about the two coming up. And I mean, it would be a big day as well for because all regionals regionals are going on Monday and then Wednesday, right?
Well, no, all the softball ones are Wednesday.
And then Monday. No. I misspoke. Monday is going to be baseball when baseball district semis start on Monday.
Right, Monday and
Tuesday start on Wednesday.
Monday and Tuesday for baseball. Wednesday will be regionals for softball. And then Friday will be regional finals for softball. And then they'll have a week off. The next states will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Thursday, Friday for the semifinals, depending on what division you're in. And then Saturday, all the state championships are. So that's June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I believe, for state semis and the state final. Down in historic Firestone Stadium in Akron. And
would that be down or that would be up? That would be kind of up for you, I think, right? That'd be north.
Northeast. It might be a straight shot east. I don't know.
It could be. It could be.
West, I mean, not east.
Palestine sits in conjunction with Akron.
West versus.
It's just like, well,
I don't have a compass. I thought you said west. Before we get Christina Dugan on at 12:30 to talk about Ursuline's win, I want to give a shout out to McDonald for a heck of a season and a heck of a game against Bristol. They unfortunately fell 2-1 in Jackson Milton as far as their district championship goes. But I don't know how many people expected McDonald to go right back to a district championship after losing Bree Callow, who was so important to their team last year. But Bree McCombs, another Bree, just kind of stepped right into the circle, really found her groove late, and that's one of the reasons why they made it so far. So congratulations to McDonald on a wonderful season, and way to put up a fight against Bristol. And unfortunately, it fell just short 2-1 in North Jackson. We got to talk to Christina Dugan, head coach of the Ursuline Irish, about this win last night. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coach, I guess where I just want to talk about it, let's start from just getting this team at the beginning of this season. And a good majority of them obviously were on that regional team last year too, a decent majority of them. And they had these goals of getting back there again. What was that kind of task at taking that at the beginning of the season and help leading this team all the way back to regionals now?
Yeah, we do have a good group coming back, and I think with them having experience where they were, they really knew how to lead the team and what their goals were. And so we do have a lot of new faces as well. So like bringing them on and letting them know what our goals are and how we're going to achieve those goals and what can we do to be different, but what can we do to be the same? Like what things worked, what things didn't work.
We've had an opportunity to talk to a couple of your players over the season, and they've all iterated the same thing, that last year's, the way they ended, has this kept them motivated all season. But as you got closer to districts and you got closer to the ultimate goal, has it been hard to keep this team from looking ahead and getting that anticipation and saying, oh, we're so close to where we want to be, and just staying focused on the next team that's in front of them?
Actually, no. I feel like we're doing as best as we can to just play one game at a time, one inning at a time. But we've been working a lot on, like their own confidence in themselves and how they can improve. And so I think that's helped a little bit because they've done a lot of self-reflection and, a lot of positives and negatives of our last game and then going into our next game. So I think that's helped a little bit.
Let's talk about the pitching of Paige last night, too, in that circle. I mean, we went over her stat line, absolutely dominating in that circle. How proud are you of a coach to see her put up that kind of performance in a big district championship game?
I'm very proud of her. She trusted her defense. She trusted her pitches. She just it clicked. It worked. The ball was moving pretty well, and I feel like as a team as a whole, we're meshing pretty well right now.
I've said it before. I love Alyssa Shealy at the top of the lineup. She brings just that instant offense right when teams have to go right out there. 2 for 3 last night. Talk about what she's brought to the team and how much her offense right at the top of that order means to the momentum of the game.
She has such an explosive swing, and then around the bases, she's very quick and she's explosive, and she's always looking to get the next bag or be aggressive, and which starts us off in a positive note 9 times out of 10. So I could not be happier with how she's doing and leading the team in that way.
With the regionals games not starting until Wednesday, a little bit of time in between, how do you manage that anticipation for not only yourself, but for some of the newer players that are getting acclimated to it now?
Yeah, I think it might actually be harder for the upperclassmen because they're just like, okay, let's play. Like we're ready. And, taking a step back and still like I said earlier, focus on, okay, what can we do to improve? What can we do? What kind of things are we doing well? We got to continue to stay intentional about that. So a couple good, defensive and offensive practices. And we're going to squeeze in the game against Matthews as well, just to stay sharp and to play a really great team and see some live hitting. So
those are 2 teams that are going to regionals as Matthews won their district championship as well. So that's a great get. I want to talk about Liza Barbado because she's on a tear. 2 home runs in 2 days, 2 games, I should say. How does it feel to have her step up in this big stage and to know what she's able and capable of?
I'm so happy for her. And she is just an awesome player to watch and get to experience and be around and be, because her excitement and just like her mentality that she brings on the field is it's a joy. And I think she's very encouraging to the other players, like in terms of being excited about a great thing. And it's contagious the way she acts. I told her sister's actually been in town since the tournament run. And I go, Maris, whatever you said or did, like you got to stick around for Liza to continue on to keep doing well.
From your perspective, I know you guys, I know coaches and players, you always want to look at the next task ahead. You never want to look too far ahead. But has it been kind of hard keeping some of the girls from looking a little bit ahead at the regional final, seeing what other opponents lie ahead or what could be lying ahead for them?
Maybe a little bit, but we haven't talked about it. We talk about the very next team, and that's kind of what our focus has been about.
Let's talk about the next team in Northwestern, a team that maybe some people in YSN aren't too familiar with, but they've been to regionals plenty of times. They're kind of a mainstay in this Division III regional, like a lot of the teams in this region are. I don't know, how much do you know about them? What do you think they bring to the table, and what do you expect from Northwestern to throw at you on Wednesday?
We don't know too much. We have a couple. I had a coach go take a look, and so we learned a little bit about them, but yeah, we don't know too much. So I'm hoping we just go out and play our game and go from there.
There's no doubt that anytime anything Ursuline gets posted on socials or anything, it's like it spreads like wildfire and like people just eat it up. It's a frenzy. So I got to imagine some of these games with the Ursuline faithful, they probably back you up even more so at them. What is that like getting that kind of support for the softball team and just knowing that the whole community has your back?
It's been awesome. Like yesterday, especially, we really felt it. You know, teachers, family are out, and that's been probably part of the coolest part of this whole journey and experience.
Time with the seniors is winding down. Even if you win state, you have 4 games left with them. Talk about the bond that you've been able to build with these seniors and how hard it is going to be for you to not be able to write their names on your lineup card after this season.
They, I've known some of them for quite a long time, and to get to see and witness the type of people that they are, because they're not just great softball players, they're awesome people. And I'm just excited. I'm going to try to, I'm excited about their next journey in life. And I just like the seniors last year, they come around and say hi, and we get to hear about their experiences. I totally expect ours to do the same. So,
what are those talks, I guess, like with the seniors once that tournament starts, and then it becomes a realization that very realistically the next game could be the last that they put on that Irish uniform? What are those kind of talks like once tournament starts with your seniors?
We pray for our health and our safety, most importantly. And then it's, you leave everything out there. You don't want to look back and say, I regret this or I regret that. And so that's really kind of been our main focus, and whatever role you play is important. And so embrace that role and go from there. And then also, like, most importantly, have fun, because since it is this could be your last game, you want to know that you left it all out, but you're also doing it having fun.
The other thing that players have said about you as we've talked to them is you have had a bigger focus on the mental aspect of the game this year, and they've had benefits of that. What have been some of your routines and some of the things that you've done to try to keep this team mentally focused and try to keep them as mentally strong as possible throughout the softball season?
Like I mentioned, we talk about like some negatives and positives individually and as a team, but then we try to focus on, okay, if it was a negative, what can we do to make that better and be more game smart and efficient? We've done a lot of self-reflections and visualizing themselves succeeding. I think that's a big deal. Like, put yourself in that position and mentally see yourself doing those things, and hopefully it helps.
I feel like a dugout tells a lot about a team's culture. So in saying that, what is Coach Dugan's ideal dugout look like?
Well, I always yell at them to be louder, but they have been pretty loud these last couple games. And they love their music, and that's what gets them hyped and excited. And so I'm all for it.
All right, we're going to let you go, and we want to thank you for the time that you were able to hop on with us. I know your time's limited, and we thank you so much for being able to tell us about the win last night and preview a little bit what you have to come. We wish you the best of luck on Wednesday. We hope you guys get a win and move on to a regional final. We look forward to talking again real soon. Thanks
again. Thanks for squeezing me in. Take care, guys.
Christina Dugan from Ursuline, taking the time to join us and giving us a little bit of a recap of last night and a preview of Wednesday. We're going to take a quick break on Running Point, and we're going to have Griffin Woodrig come on at 12:45 when we come back. This is Running Point on Ysn Live, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside of the Holy
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update. Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
But now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Mr. Ty Bartell. As always, it is a Friday episode, and we are almost going to be joined by Griffin Woodrick, who is coming on in about 3 minutes. Before we do, Ty, why don't you talk about his performance last night against Austintown Fitch Boardman with the 5-0 win over the Falcons to move on to the district semifinals?
I mean, Griffin Woodrick has now pitched 2 performances against Austintown and has not allowed a run in either performance. I mean, he just, like I said, he has immaculate composure on the mound, and that's one of the keys, I feel like, to his performances being so strong game in and game out. So it's when he gives up those hits or when he walks a batter, lets a guy on base, even in scoring position, it doesn't really phase him. It doesn't affect him that much, it seems like, as he just keeps going about business. And on top of all of it, I think the biggest thing that I've seen from Griffin Woodrick last night, or the biggest thing I saw, was just getting ahead first pitch strikes. It was the biggest, I think, part of why he was able to really get through that Falcons lineup multiple times. And I mean, he mixed in some off-speed pitches. He had a lot of pitches working, but getting ahead first pitch strike, consistently getting the Falcons behind the 8 ball, I think was a huge key in that.
Coach Upshire saying that Boardman is the most dangerous 16 seed that he has ever seen. And I think I would agree with that. They're super dangerous.
Their lineup, I mean, you got Seth Cervello. I mean, you got Woodrick, you got Treveri. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3. Then you got Butto. I mean, there's so many great hitters. Gavin Hyde's a good hitter too. Like, I mean, there's a lot of senior leadership on the baseball team too for Boardman. And I think that's a big thing going into this season.
And it just goes that we've had this conversation because softball had an 18 seed in the district championship last night. It's hard to seed some of these teams with the spring that we've had and the times that teams have been able to struggle to get games in, and they're not, the records maybe not exactly what it should be because they don't have enough games to be, great. So it's hard to seed these teams, and we're seeing that come back to bite some people.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, Boardman won the AAC. Like, Don't put no disrespect on their name. They won the conference this year. And that's a conference that features the number 1 seed in D2 in Canfield and what was the number 4 seed in D1 in Fitch too. This is not a pushover team. And also, I mean, a very good Howland squad in there as well too, that Boardman took care of business too. Only lost 2 games, 1 to Canfield, 1 to Fitch all season. Just another great performance by the Spartans.
As happy as we are that Boardman got the win, we also have to reflect on a Fitch season that comes to an end. Ty, once again, I'll lean on you because you covered them all season. Talk about this Fitch baseball team. Obviously, there were some really good highs with the 2 wins over Canfield and some other things that they were able to accomplish this year. How do you kind of recap this season and reflect on this season that the Falcons were able to have?
Yeah, it's obviously, I mean, it's the same kind of, I think, feeling. I don't think there's any bad takeaways from it just because it doesn't end in a state championship. That only happens to 4 teams every year too. So it doesn't happen to every team. So you got to take the good away from the season. And yeah, beating Canfield twice in a row. That's a pretty big high to take away too. But I mean, just reflect on the seniors and what they were able to do with this program too. I mean, Brandon Stevenson, Brandon Popio, Joe Roth. I mean, those kind of guys too, on top of like Josh Lowe. These guys were huge going forward. Mikey Shortino is another one too that just popped in my head too. These are the seniors are the ones that, I mean, left a nice legacy for them. But you got to give props to Boardman. They were on top of things and they jumped them early, and they got a big win last night.
Griffin Woodrick was on top of things. He's joining us on Running Point now to talk about his great performance last night. Griffin, thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I mean, Griffin, let's just talk about another great performance against Austintown, your second one too, not allowing any run. What is it about the Falcons? Is there something with these conference rivalries that gives you a little extra juice before performances?
Absolutely. I've said in previous interviews, they're always fun to play. They always come to play. So they're always a little scrappy. So, I mean, it just boosts the energy a little bit more, and the adrenaline is always rushing. So, yeah, it definitely helps to play a rival, though, for sure.
You came into this game with momentum too, and you got the win the first game, and they had to take a bye. How much do you think you carried momentum as a team into this game?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the pressure was definitely on them for sure, especially them being at their home. But, you know, they're off a little high coming from sweeping Canfield, but then Howland shut the door on them. So, I mean, I think they were at a low spot. And then, yeah, like you said, I mean, we were just kind of rolling through, and then I think we had the advantage there. But, I mean, we brought all the intensity to their place. I'm super glad that our fans showed out. So it was a really good game, though.
You talk about that too. And I mean, talk about what was going through your head when coach tells you you're going to be getting the start in Austintown now. I mean, it's a team you literally just played. You know, the book's out on both of you. You both know what each other has to bring. So you don't really have, not that there's anything different you have to offer, but what's that mentality going into it, knowing that you just played them days prior?
I was super excited. I said yesterday I was super amped. All day in school, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I mean, I had a physics test, and it was just on my mind. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, beating them the first time was definitely great. But I mean, I was super excited that this meant even more coming from that we won the conference, and then now we're in the playoffs facing them. So it was just a great atmosphere.
Is it easier, or I guess I should say more fun for you to play someone that there is such familiarity with, and it's just my best versus your best, let's go, instead of unfamiliarity and don't know what to really expect from their lineup, and you're just trying to feel them out the first couple innings?
Yeah, I think knowing the team is a lot better. I don't know. I think the game just becomes that more intense, and everyone's locked in the entire 7 innings. So, because, you know, sometimes when you play teams you don't know, you know, you just kind of, the first couple innings, you're trying to understand the order, but you know, in this game, we all know each other, so I think it worked out really well.
What can you say about this big group of seniors that this team has, and do you think there's extra motivation going into a tournament, knowing that you guys don't want that to be your last game?
Yeah, absolutely. The entire goal of this season was just to push through with the seniors and just to overall lead the team. And I think that's what we've done a great job of. I mean, all seniors, whether they're playing or not, they're all locked in. They all want to win. And that's the goal. We just want to make a serious run here and leave a great mark at Bournemouth for our senior year.
What are some specific leadership attributes that you think you bring to the table yourself?
Hard work. Not that I'm bossy. I don't like to tell people what to do. But if I see something, I'll say it. But I mean, just it's all for the team cause anyways. I mean, if someone makes an error, I just tell them to keep their head up, including myself. You can't let it get to them, and you have to worry about the next pitch always. That's the most important pitch.
Who are some younger players that you've tried to take under your wing with this team and kind of mentor them through these next few years, who you're going to take a little bit of pride in seeing their success?
Gavin Hyde, he was a sophomore last year. He's a junior this year, but he was on varsity last year. And I didn't know him too well, but I'm super glad I got to know him. He's a really good pitcher. He's our one. He'll be going Tuesday. But he's a really hard worker. He's a really good pitcher. He pitches really well. He dots all the spots. His off speed is really good. But I would say, yeah, probably Gavin Hyde is probably who I took under my wing for sure.
We all know Coach Gabriel has done such a good job with this program. Talk about what it's been like being under him and what kind of things he's taught you about yourself and yourself as a baseball player and as a person.
Just to work hard. I mean, we had the off-season workouts at the Glacier Dome down in Youngstown, and ever since a freshman, he's just been preaching to work hard and to trust the process, and everyone will get their turn. So you just have to make the most of it and make the most of each game.
I've said your composure on the mound when you get through tough spots is really impressive. How you're able to stay calm, cool, and collected. What are some things or some advice that you kind of tell yourself, I guess, or some things that pop in your head when you're in a tough spot to try to calm yourself down and get back out there on the mound?
Just to worry about the next pitch. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, if say I walk a guy or he gets a hit, I mean, props to the hitter if he gets a hit, but I can't let this affect the next batter or the next pitch, and I just have to keep going at him and trust the defense I got behind me.
What's your favorite thing about representing Boardman and being able to wear those colors and being able to say that you're a part of this community?
Probably the community, to be honest. I mean, I think it was the freshman team. They all came, and I think some of the JV players came to the game yesterday. They're all wearing the maroon, and I think that's what's great. I mean, we have people who, you know, maybe don't even have kids that go to Boardman, and they're still coming to the games, and they're showing out and supporting. So you just love to see it, and it really helps the team get going. So
from the youth levels up, there's no doubt Boardman has a lot of representation with baseball. Where did your love with this sport first start, and you first find yourself really getting into the sport of baseball?
I started T-ball at the YMCA when I was younger, maybe like 3 or 4. But my true love didn't really come to the game until I started playing at Mill Creek. My brother, I have an older brother, he played baseball as well, and I think watching him and being the bat boy for his teams and stuff really helped me start to love the game.
We're going to talk about that dynamic with you and your brother as well. I'm sure there's a lot of competitive juices between you two. What are some of your favorite things about not just growing up and watching him play, but now being able to be a senior yourself and have him be able to watch you grow in your career?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it all started from I was playing catch in the front yard, but you know, even after yesterday's game, he tuned in to watch the game, and I was extremely thankful for that. But he had a game in college where he had 17 strikeouts, and I think last night I had 12, but he was joking about it yesterday and saying that I didn't have nearly as many strikeouts as him and stuff. So it's all jokes.
Oh, always competitive.
Yeah.
One thing we know too, and I have to ask all the baseball players this: what's the go-to seed and Gatorade / sports drink combination for Griffin Woodring?
I used to be a huge seeds guy, but I'm not as much anymore. But I would probably go. I'd probably go ranch. Probably Big's ranch seeds, and then again Gatorade. I'm not huge on Gatorade. I like it obviously, but I'm more of a Body Armor kind of guy, I think, and I'd probably go strawberry banana Body Armor.
Considering that we have a Body Armor fridge at YSN and we have Body Armor cutouts right in the studio, that's a good answer on brand. I want to get into the rapid fire section of the interview and get to know you a little bit off the field since we've gotten to know you so well on the field. I want to start with asking, what is the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning?
The first thing, I'm a heavy sleeper. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a lot to wake up, but first, like today, I just checked the time and then I seen if I had any texts or anything. But breakfast, I go to cereal. That's my go-to. I love cereal. I had it this morning, so definitely probably my favorite food though.
How many alarms do you have to set to get yourself up?
If I have to wake up for school at 7, I set an alarm at 6 just to prepare myself that I have to wake up at 7, because if it's a 1 alarm, I won't be too hot, but I'll wake up at 6 and be like, okay, next alarm, that means I got to get up for school, but I'll just go back to bed. It's probably not good for sleep, but I do anyways.
You're a cereal guy. What's the go-to cereal?
I had Fruity Pebbles this morning. I think both of the Pebbles are really good, cocoa and fruity. I like Special K as well with the strawberries.
All right. What is one subject in school that is your favorite?
Math. I'm a big math guy. That's about the only subject I can tolerate, actually.
So this one might be hard to answer because obviously the other subjects. Which one do you struggle with the most?
Probably English, just because, I mean, it's a lot of, I feel like, not useless, but like some of the stories we read and the poems and whatnot, it's really tough to understand. So
Are you more of a book guy or a movie guy?
probably movie.
What was the last movie that you saw in the theaters?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
What was the last show that you binge watched on Netflix or a streaming service?
I don't have Netflix, but I do have Disney Plus. It's actually my sister's boyfriend, so it's kind of
there you go.
But I think the last show I binge watched was WandaVision, the Marvel series.
We'll stay in Marvel since your last two episodes. Well, the last two answers were Marvel. It could be DC too. But what's your favorite superhero?
Probably Spider-Man or Iron Man. I like Tony Stark as well.
So you're saying the crime dog is a serial killer? DJ says in the comments. Who's your real life hero?
Probably my dad. Just because he's always pushed me throughout my life. So whether it be baseball or just life in general, he's always on top of everything. So probably my dad.
What movie or TV show do you quote the most?
I'm not a huge quote guy, to be honest, but probably like an old movie, probably like Groundhog Day or like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What's the favorite meme that you've ever seen? The funniest meme you've ever seen?
I don't know that. There's this one meme. It's a dog. It's a dog that's snoring. You'd have to see it. It's
Right.
pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
What's the go-to board game for the Widrig family game night?
There's this game. It's called Chick-a-Pig. It's my parents' favorite artist game. Like I think he bought into the game and he's like one of the owners of the game. But it's called Chick-a-Pig. It's a super fun game actually.
Who wins in family game night the most?
Probably me or my dad.
How heated does family game night get? Like, I mean, I'm sure it's a fairly competitive family. So, I mean, are we talking like lawyers on the phone sometimes?
Yes, 100%. My sister is, she's competitive, but she's not. I'm not gonna diss her, but she's not the greatest. But she likes to compete, though. So, I mean, at least she has that aspect.
What teammate can make you laugh no matter what the situation is?
Probably Stephen Conti or Gavin Hyde.
What teammate has the most swag on the team?
Probably Seth Cervello.
What teammate do you text the most?
Probably Stephen Conti.
Do you know what the last thing you texted him was? Or texted him about?
I think it was about music. I think it was music related.
All right, so perfect segue. What's your game day playlist look like?
It's actually an assortment. Some days I listen to some rap. I'm a big rap guy, but also I can get into the more classic rock style of music. But it's usually between rap or the band. It's called Dave Matthews Band, so probably between those two.
Is there one song on that playlist that I'd call like a guilty pleasure song that you don't like to admit that's on there, but you jam to it anyway?
Probably "In the Air" by Phil Collins, probably.
If you were going to go viral on the internet or on TikTok or whatever video service you guys want to use, what do you think you would go viral for? What do you think the video would be of?
Probably just something silly, honestly. I've posted a couple of TikToks, but I'm not suggesting you go watch them. But I think some of them have blown up fairly well. But
last but not least, I'll ask, what is your favorite thing about being a baseball player?
Just the fact that you can just go out and play every day. I mean, with football, it's once a week, and you have a bad game, then I mean, you have to wait a whole another week to play. I mean, baseball. I mean, you look at the pros. Mike Trout, he'd go for 11 for 25, and then the next month he's 0 for his first 25 or something like that. So I mean, it's a game of constant failure, and I think what's the best part is no one's perfect. So.
All right, Griffin, before we get you out of here, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you.
I like to thank my family first, of course, especially my family, because they've been there throughout my life and helped me get where I am today. My friends too, as well. I mean, they're always supporting, especially from Boardman. They were, like I said, they were supporting yesterday, and coaches as well. They helped where I am today. I mean, wouldn't be anywhere without the coaches. That's probably it.
Griffin, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and talking to us about not just last night's game, but the season as a whole and this program as a whole. We thank you for your time, and we wish you the best of luck going forward. We wish to talk to you again real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Griffin Woodrig of Boardman Baseball joining us after his stellar performance last night, shutting out the Fitch Falcons 5-0 as Boardman advances to the district semifinals next Tuesday to play in the semifinals and try to punch their ticket to the championship match.
Yep, we still have to get ahead to the sectional finals in Boardman, or in baseball, I should say. We talked about Fitch and Boardman, but we have other sectionals that were decided too. But we also have an interview, I believe, upcoming too. You said, Anthony,
1 o'clock, which is right now. I think she popped on during that interview and then popped off because she saw someone was on. But Gretchen Bartels will be joining us here very shortly. Why don't we take a break while we are waiting, and then when we come back, we'll have Gretchen Bartels, the hero of last night's district championship game, joining us on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These three values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists, located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartel, and we're joined by somewhat of a hero last night's district championship game, 2 home runs in the game. Gretchen Bartels joins us from South Range. Gretchen, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having
Gretchen, let's first and foremost just talk about the being one of the heroes last night too, and just having a phenomenal day at the plate. What it was feeling like for you at the plate after you hit the first one, and then after you hit the second, what was going through your mind the entire night?
Well, I was very excited after I saw it go over because I was just very happy to help my team. I was just looking for a base hit, but I was very happy I could help my team out.
Yeah, and you came into last night with no home runs. You leave last night with 2. What were you looking for in those at bats? I mean, you said you just wanted to help your team out, but obviously it was your second time seeing that pitcher in your first home run, and then your third time seeing her in the second home run. So what were you looking for, and what was what kind of worked so well that you were able to hit one over the fence?
Well, my first 2 strikes were bunts that I missed, so I was kind of frustrated with myself. So I felt like I was just looking for a pitch that I knew I could drive and take it wherever I needed to take it.
Talk about a little bit about this team and this experience you've had on it this season and what it's meant to you as a whole. Just reflect on the season a little bit. I know you guys still alive too, but you have a little bit of a break now until regionals. So just reflect on the journey so far and what it's meant to you.
So far it's been a fun ride. I really enjoy playing with all my teammates, and my coaches are so encouraging, and I just love having them as my coach.
You come into this program, and I'm sure when you come into it, it's a little bit daunting. It's a little bit, you look how successful it's been in its past. How did you handle trying to, forget about living up to the South Range culture and just trying to be the best Gretchen Bartels you could be and help this team the way that you knew how to best?
Well, I was very happy to be in this program, and when I got up here, I just kind of thought of as a way to show everyone who I was and how I could help everyone on my team.
In your softball career, what would you say is some of the best advice that you've received that you still use on day to day?
Keep playing the game throughout the game, because if you make an error, you can still come back from it and usually help the team more, and the error will be usually overlooked.
And you got a chance to kind of experience that last night. You were busy at third base. It seemed like they were hitting everything to you. You did make one error, but you bounced back right from it. You made every other play that was hit to you, and then obviously hit the home runs. What was your mindset trying to just kind of redeem yourself? I didn't even say redeem myself, but bounce back from the one error that you did have and try to just keep going in the positive mindset, like you said?
I just kind of like to shake it off. I know, I'm a person, I will make mistakes. I mean, it was very frustrating, but I did just want to keep playing and keep going.
Being that you play for this program now for this season, and Anthony mentioned too earlier in the broadcast, nine district championships now and 12 seasons for South Range. Do you think that adds any kind of pressure to you or the students to try to uphold that kind of success year to year?
I mean, I think maybe a little bit, but overall we try to not think about it too much and just play our game, because we know that we have the capability of winning and doing very well with each other. We just can't get too nervous, I guess.
So now you've been with 2 district championships last year and this year. Which one kind of felt better?
Oh, that's a hard one. Because I think last year in the districts we played champion, if I am not mistaken. And that one I ended very well. We only had a lead, we didn't even have a lead in the 7th inning. I don't know. I think they both felt really good because we got the win. Kind of started a little slow, I guess, and we ended up with the win in both. So.
What is the mentality of the team now going forward into regionals for the second consecutive year?
I think we're just thinking just to keep playing as a team, make sure we're still sticking to our defense playing very well, and our offense keep continuing to hit the ball.
How much impact has this coaching staff had on you throughout your career and have helped you grow as a softball player?
The coaching staff is very helpful. I think they keep us up when we are kind of down a little bit, and I think they're great coaches. I think they do a good job.
What was the post-game message from the coaching staff after the district win?
He was very excited, talking about what we did very well, our hits, and Giada Pauline's catch that she made in right field or left field. It was just a good ending to the game.
We have to ask about your nickname, because if you go to a South Range softball, you'll hear Coach DeRose and everyone else call you FedEx, and I want to know the story behind it and where it came from and why you are dubbed as FedEx on the South Range softball team.
Well, a lot of the girls on the team have nicknames, but mine's FedEx because I'm like, I think the slowest, and maybe I think I am the slowest on the team. And Coach Farron actually came up with it my freshman year during like when the tournament started, and it just kind of stuck.
Is that like kind of a way like you guys can take the things that you're not great at and just kind of make a little joke out of them so you're not focused on your negatives?
Yes, that's what we do.
It's a pretty good nickname. Do you think that one's the best on the team, or who's your favorite? Who has the favorite nickname for you?
I think mine. I think it is.
It makes the perfect headline because FedEx delivered last night in a big way. Now you go into regionals. You get to go to Ravenna on Wednesday in the middle of the day. I mean, how excited is this program? I'm guessing you get to get out of school early if you're going to be still in school, and you get to go and you get to have a middle of the day game at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, and it's going to be a fun experience for you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're really excited. Well, one, just to miss school, and I think we're really excited to be with each other and play another game on Wednesday.
We've talked with a few other South Range players from this team this season about this Myrtle Beach trip that they had in the middle of the year and how impactful it was. From your perspective, do you feel the same in that kind of trip in the middle of the season towards the beginning right before the middle of the season starts? Do you think it really helps gel and bring this team together before this kind of tournaments?
I think it does because like not only the softball aspect, but we like all share a hotel room together. So every single night we'll come into the hotel and like kind of just talk in the kitchen. And I think it really did bring us closer as a team. We made a lot of inside jokes and that we still laugh about now.
What's your favorite thing about playing for South Range and wearing the burgundy and gold and being a part of this community that we know is so strong?
I think I'd have to say the team. My team is just so fun, and I love going to see them all every single day, whether after school or whenever.
Who would you say is the goofiest on the team and it never fails at making you smile?
I think it's have to be Kelly and Hannah Ball because they grow off of each other's jokes, so they'll add more to each other's jokes.
When you look at what's ahead of this team and the things that the goals that you still have ahead in front of you, what were some personal goals that you set for yourself coming into the season? Because we know the team goals.
One of my goals was to actually like hit very well this season, be productive at the plate. That was one of my biggest goals. And I think that was my biggest one. I do.
What are your feelings ahead of this Wednesday matchup as far as like anticipation wise? Are they levels through the roof? Are they manageable right now? How are they?
I mean, as of now, they're manageable because it's not the day of the game. But once I get to the day of the game, I get very nervous.
Yeah, you get close to Wednesday, that anticipation starts to build.
Yeah.
You play travel as well in the summer. Talk about your travel ball experience and how much do you think it helps you grow as a player and stay with the reps and make you a better softball player for the high school season?
I've been with my travel team since 10U, I think it was, and I've grown with those girls. And as I keep playing, I feel like I get better and better each season because of that team.
Before Anthony starts getting into some of those rapid fire questions, I always like to ask what is the sunflower seed and Gatorade / sports drink combination for Gretchen Bartels?
Oh, sunflower seeds are not my favorite thing. I'm not going to lie, but I do like the dill pickle ones. And then Gatorade. Oh, I think it'll have to be a blue one. No matter what color blue, it doesn't matter. I just love the blue ones.
So I'm going to go off of Ty's question because, okay, if you're not big on sunflower seeds, what's your go-to dugout snack?
I like eating pretzels. I'm not going to lie.
I feel like that's a pretty popular answer too. I see like the pretzel nuggets or like those pretzel bits too.
Like they have peanut butter in the middle. They're so good.
Is there a flavor of those that you would create if you could?
I don't know. I think I would I love apple and cinnamon together. So maybe make that.
Ooh, like a sweet pretzel kind of. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. All right, if Gatorade came to you and said, we're going to make a new flavor for Gretchen Bartels, we're going to call it whatever you want to call it, what do you think the flavoring would kind of be?
Oh, I think Definitely some type of berry, because I'm big on berries.
Are you a sunrise or sunset? Which one do you like the most?
Sunset.
Are you a night owl or a morning person?
Night out. I cannot wake up.
What's the latest you try to like? What's the first bed? Like I have to go to bed by this time on a school night.
Oh, on a school night, it just kind of depends on how tired I am. I think it's more like 11:30. Yeah.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I usually go to the bathroom and brush my teeth.
What's your favorite breakfast food?
Oh, I think toast.
Just toast?
Yeah, just toast and butter
Like Gretchen's perfect breakfast is toast.
on Italian bread.
Got to be Italian though.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
What's the best school lunch at South Range?
Oh, that's hard. I think like the pasta.
I remember very fondly the pasta at South Range as a Raider alum. I hope it hasn't changed much.
No. It's so
good. And the breadsticks they give you with it.
yes.
Mm.
So good.
Memories. What's your favorite subject in school right now?
To be honest, I do really like French.
What is one subject that you struggle more with?
History.
What do you think is the hardest assignment you've had as part of your high school career so far?
I think I wouldn't say it's the hardest, but it's my English, my big like essay thing. It was just very stressful.
Are you someone that likes group projects or do you like the solo projects?
I think I like group projects, but it depends on the group.
Yeah, always. So you go through South Range. There's a lot of group projects that you have to do throughout your schooling career, whether it be middle school or high school. What's been your favorite kind of group project so far?
The Raider Regatta.
Yes.
And that's when like the boats, we build boats and then we race them across the pond. That was my favorite.
What was your regatta boat?
We did like a Barbie dream house theme, and yeah.
When you grow up and you're already grown, when you get out of high school and you want to have a career, what do you think your dream job is?
I think I want to be some type of doctor, whether it's like a pediatrician or whatever.
Do you have any like inklings on if you want to travel for school or if you want to kind of stay closer to home?
I don't know. I think I'd rather stay closer to home, but I'll go anywhere. It doesn't really matter.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Hawaii.
So maybe go to Hawaii. It's colleges there, right? If you could afford any car, what car would you want to buy?
I think a Porsche. Or yeah.
Are you a movie girl or a book girl?
Movie.
What was the last movie that you saw in the theaters?
Oh, it's been a while.
Oh.
I think it was a volleyball movie. I don't remember what it was called, but
what fictional death hit you the hardest?
I think Derek Shepherd on Grey's Anatomy.
That's a popular answer with softball players for sure. What is the last show that you binge watched?
Criminal Minds.
When you want to, what are some hobbies that you have? If I was going to tell you that the Wi-Fi was disconnected, you couldn't get anywhere for Wi-Fi, and you had to do something without your phone, what's the go-to hobby? What would Gretchen Bartels be doing?
Well, I don't know if I would call this a hobby, but I do love shopping, and it's so bad, but I do love to shop.
Goes right into my next question. What's the one thing you spend money on that you probably shouldn't? A lot of money.
Clothes or like food, like when I go out to dinner or something like that.
What was the last impulse buy that you made?
Whatever I got at TJ Maxx last time I went.
What is your lucky number? Do you have a lucky number?
8. It's always been 8.
If you could go anywhere, either back in time or forward in time, would you rather go into the future or back in time?
I'd have to say Back in time.
And if you did go back in time, what era would you want to go to?
I'd say like my childhood, like my maybe I'd say like almost like toddlers.
Back to the toddler ages. Oh, great, Gretchen. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you go, want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you.
Thank you.
You got it. Gretchen Bartels, South Range Softball, coming on to join us, the hero from last night. And the 2 home runs in the game. She hit her 21st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th RBI. So now she has 24 on the year, 2 home runs, and she hits just around that 333 mark in that 7th spot in the lineup.
Yeah, and I mean, that's an impact player doing impact things at an impact spot of the lineup too. And I mean, was a key difference maker in last night's game, no doubt.
We talked about it. If South Range gets contributions from the bottom of their order, then, you know, that makes them that much tougher to deal with.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
We got baseball to talk about from last night. The sectional finals are done. District semifinals are set. We already talked about Fitch and Boardman, as Boardman got the 5-0 win over Fitch. Some other scores and results that we had from last night. How about Lisbon getting the win in the sectional final? They are the top Devils in the sectionals as they beat Western Reserve 5-4. And they did it to hold off a mighty comeback. Western Reserve scored 3 late runs, but Lisbon hung on to win 5-4.
Yeah, and I mean, props to Lisbon too, winning the Battle of the Blue Devils too, Forks High, and a beautiful night it was last night too. I mean, I didn't mention it in the game or when I was doing the preview of my game, but 76 degrees last night was like. And what else can you ask for start time temperature?
It was a perfect 76 because it wasn't like blazing sun. You had some clouds every now and then, nice little gentle breeze every now and then. It was like Mother Nature graced us with she knew it was district championship night. She knew it was sectional championship night. And she said, go have some fun, guys.
We finally are back in Mother Nature's good graces. I don't know what we did to make her angry so much earlier in April, but she's starting to come around in May.
What's this wee stuff? I think you did something.
Yeah. Says, don't rope me into it, Ty.
But he wrote me into this. What about him? He wrote me into this. Little Rick and Morty. Nod to people that understand that reference, and people that don't probably think I'm crazy. Warren JFK got the win. They advanced to play Lisbon. That'll be the district semifinal as JFK rocked this sectional final in a big way. Final score there, 26-3.
JFK, real deal. I mean, we were talking it up a little bit yesterday, saying like, you know, anyone could slip up at any time. And I don't know if that maybe the Eagles caught wind of that, and we're throwing it up in the dugout, and they're just like, you know what, we're gonna show them what slip up means.
Right, there are no wet floors here. Not JFK.
No, they're like, we're gonna keep it clean and tidy. But you know, you talk about one Blue Devil loss last night with Western Reserve. There was another big win last night though too, upset wise inside this bracket.
Yep, Heartland Christian got the win over McDonald on the road and was not the only road team to win last night either.
And I mean, that's props to Heartland Christian too. They've played a pretty tough schedule too. I believe they featured JFK twice, if I'm not mistaken. I know definitely once on that schedule. And I mean, this is a Heartland Christian team that doesn't give up, and their motto has been "Why not us?" this whole way through too. So props to the Lions too. Moving on to district semis.
Final score there was 4-2, and it was a great performance from the Lions. Top of the 5th inning was the big one. They added RBIs from Jake Walker, and McDonald couldn't recover from that 5th inning that Heartland put up. Noah Ricks wrote a great article, and he also got an interview with Mark Franken after the game. So head over to ysnlive.com to check out that recap and post-game interview.
Yeah,
also on our YouTube page.
Walker's always come up big over there in Heartland Christian territory too, and they should put up signs: "Walk, don't run." Lions Den.
Walk, don't run in the Lions Den. That's what it's all about. We'll talk a little bit more about Jackson Milton as we stay in Division 4. They got the win as well, and they hop into the sectional final. And Aaron Romai, and I said yesterday, he's a great pitcher. Well, he backed it up. He threw a 6-inning no-hit bid as Jackson Milton, they blanked the Rockets 10-0 in 6 innings. And Romai threw the 6-inning no-hitter. He also struck out double digits. I think he had 10. And they scored 6 runs in the second, 2 runs in the fourth. And they also had, obviously, 2 runs to end it in the sixth. Walk-off win to run rule end it. Logan Sokol was a big bat. So was Billy Sloan for the Blue Jays. And then Drew Sloan and Dom Kroll also had big RBIs for the Jays as well. They will move on to play the winner of tonight's game between Mineral Ridge and St. Thomas Aquinas, which is happening tonight on the network. And the winner of that will play Jackson Milton in the district semifinals.
Coach Upshire said, fun fact is they were losing early 3-0, and then JFK turned it on in a big way. JFK was like, well, our amps can go to 11. Do we just turn it all the way up to that right now? And they're like, I think Shambadi is probably sitting there saying, too much. Save some runs for the rest of the game.
That's the whole thing, like baseball fans and save runs, like
save some runs for the rest of the day.
They can pick them up and carry them to the next
carry over like math. It's easy, simple math. But you're right, Ant. Mineral Ridge and St. Thomas Aquinas have to do battle to see who Jackson Milton will be playing in that district semi. Wasn't Wyndham's night on the other end of that. I know Bristol got the 11-1 victory over the Bombers, and their season comes to an end, but still a great season for Wyndham. But I really wanted to talk about briefly, I know they're not YSN teams, but how about Ashtabula St. John School, 13 seed beating 4-seeded Matthews in this bracket? It's like that's
a big upset. Matthews is a great baseball team. They have a great repertoire, using some fancy words. But yeah, St. John's one of those teams like your Ursulines, your JFKs, your
CLs.
They play a really tough, private school schedule.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, just proved it again, big way. But Matthews too, usually not a team that goes down early on in brackets like this. But yeah, surprising big win too, and congratulations that way. But yeah, that was the one game you were talking about, Ant, that still needs to fall is Ridge and St. Thomas Aquinas, and this is a Ridge team, got the 3 seed in this bracket. I think we got a chance to preview them before the season. This is a team that they got pitching and they know how to win.
Mark Bunch on the bump, I'm guessing.
You would probably think if he's good to go, you got to throw Bunch.
And if he's right, it might be 3rd no-hitter for him. Not calling it. I'm not calling that. But, if he's right, 3 no-hitters and he does one in the tournament, that'd be super impressive.
You could go check out an interview with Mark Bunch that we did on Running Point under the article Best of the Bunch on ysnlive.com, as well as on our YouTube page too, before you watch tonight's game, to give you a little bit of a preview of some of the some Rams talent.
Hey, Ty, while they're on that YouTube page, what should they do?
He's always throwing it to me. You got to hit that subscribe button. You got to hit the notification bell too, so you stay updated on the videos as they happen.
We talked about the Spartans win over Fitch, and those were the sectional finals last night. We had 5 of them, and the 5 winners were Lisbon, JFK, Jackson Milton, Boardman, and Heartland Christian, all getting the wins on the network to move on to districts 1 and 4, divisions 1 and 4 last night.
Want to remind everyone of the division 2 and 3 district semis while we're at it too, since we went over 1 and 4 real quick. To anyone that might not we had the games on the network, we still got Canfield and Niles going on in D2 this upcoming week. That's going to be a district semifinal. That'll be a fun matchup too. I don't think you can ever underestimate what Niles brings to the table. Redbirds versus Red Dragons.
And that'll be back-to-back games against any 8 teams for Canfield.
Yeah, that's true too. So they shut out the first one in a big way. The Big Keys did. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. And then of course we know Chardon and Field will play on the other side of that one too for Division 2. And then we got to go to Louisville, and we know Salem-Louisville is going to be the big one. That's going to be huge next week. I think this one's going to be super exciting in the bottom end of this bracket for who's going to go to district final, because that's the all YSN matchup. So we're guaranteed representative in district final.
Yes, that's why we like it.
And then, of course, we know Streetsboro and Marlington on the other side of that
Streetsboro
one.
upset West Branch 2 nights ago.
In a big way, too. And, I mean, Rockets, Yeah, I mean, when they get to this point, they can never be counted out. They always have solid teams.
Yeah, these brackets are so tough. Like we said, like the seeding, especially like 13 through 6, is kind of a crapshoot because you didn't really know, how many games everyone got in, and Streetsboro, one of those teams benefiting from a lower seed, and they definitely were not seeded the right way. They were underseeded, and they proved it.
We talked about Mooney and Rootstown doing battle in D3, and we found out Middlefield Cardinal ended up beating LeBray last night, so it's going to be Cardinal and Ursuline on the other side of that too. So possibility, and we're all kind of well,
we're rooting for it because it's 2 YSN teams against 2 non-YSN teams.
We're crossing our fingers for Holy War Part 3 here in the district final, and I think that's what everyone kind of wants.
Yeah, if you don't want that, then you're just no fun.
Yeah, everyone I think wants Holy War Part 3 and in the district championship too. And then real quickly slide over to the Niles district. We know South Range and Champion are doing battle, and then Springfield and Columbiana are also doing battle, and that's all YSN. So we are guaranteed a YSN district championship.
Which means we're guaranteed a YSN representative in regionals.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what you love to see. And of course, I mean, Champion South Range, I think is going to be a fantastic game. MVAC versus NE8 there. And then you got,
sorry, I was going to say Champion has enough time off. They're going to throw Nate Holt.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing the Raiders are going to put
everyone's one is going to be going probably for Monday, Tuesday starts. Everyone's one is likely going Monday, Tuesday. You get 5 days off. How can you?
Skirpak threw a shutout his last time up. He seems to be rolling right through the tournament, and Champion's going to throw their best, and that's what makes tournament time fun. Is every week you get a new batch and you get ones versus ones.
Yeah. And you love it. You love it. Absolutely. And I think both those matchups are going to be good. And we get representative, 2 from the MVAC, but opposite sides too, with Springfield and the Scarlet. And then, of course, over in the gray. And then you have the NE8 with South Range, and then EOAC with Columbiana. So representative all over the place too. And
I think that Columbiana Springfield game, that's going to be sneaky good. I think it might go under the radar because they're not the big name in that district. But that's going to be a really good game between a team that knows how to win and a team that can pitch the bejesus out of everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait for that. I can't wait because we're guaranteed a district final with 2 YSN teams. So
that's how we rule the world. That's how it goes. And then I do want to get to Canfield girls lacrosse. They were on the network last night as well in playoff action. They got the big win over St. Vincent St. Mary, and Carly Dapolito, who we've had on the show. They're all-state and top-ranked goalie in the state for lacrosse. She got her 200th save as part of the win. As Canfield moves on in the tournament, they will go and play Gates Mills Gilmore Academy, who we just saw in softball, and they will play the winner of Gilmore Academy versus Lake Catholic, and that game will be on Saturday, May 21st, which is tomorrow, in Canfield. So Canfield will host the winner of Gilmore Academy and Lake Center Christian on Saturday as part of their tournament run.
Can we just put her in front of like a lacrosse net and do like a nice little graphic of her with like lightning eyes that just says "You shall not pass" on it? Like,
right. make the lacrosse stick a staff.
Yeah, she's just sitting there with it. "You shall not pass." It'd be awesome. How about this one, Ann? You being from South Range, wanting that ITCL rivalry to happen again.
There were a couple years where like it was taboo to mention the ITCL because of the way it disbanded, and there were some sore feelings. But I think we're far enough away from that we can kind of say ITCL without angering people. But yeah, the Columbiana South Range rivalry was very strong. It was not as strong as South Range Springfield, which we could see. Everyone knows that rivalry.
That's the really cool thing, is that you could see that too.
So and no matter what, if South Range wins, they're facing an old rival, that they used to play a lot in the league.
And either way too, and if Champion comes out on top, it's the same kind of case where it's just going to be pitching. If it's Columbiana and Champion, that's just going to be, who do you throw then? And how many pitchers do you see in that district championship game?
I think it would probably be O'Shaughnessy for Champion, Jack O'Shaughnessy.
But that's the thing too. I mean, with as many days rest between that and regionals, they can throw 2-3 guys too and say, well, we're just going to throw Columbiana could go, we'll throw our 3 best. We'll throw our 3 best then too, and we'll just see what works.
And that's what we brought it up with Griffin Woodring, my best against your best, because we both know each other so well.
Yeah, there's not many secrets. A lot of these teams that do often play each other throughout the regular season, and they play up too. So there's not the book is out on a lot of these teams. They all kind of know each other. There's no secret.
Yeah, until we get to regionals, when like I said, there's no huddle cam for baseball and softball, so you can't just go and video scout your opponents when they're Northwestern or Tuslaw or whatever it may be. But when it's local, you can either you've played them, somebody that's played them, or you are able to go to a game on one of your off days. It's not hard to find out what local teams bring to the table.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, we love covering it too, and we are just definitely hoping for some more YSN luck in the baseball realm too. Obviously, that one the Niles side for D3 is really set for us too. We're gonna get a district champion that's YSN represented, whether you like it or not, we like it or not. We're getting YSN in there. So
I love that, whether you like it or not.
YSN is representing that.
That's what you can do about it, buddy.
Honestly, but no, we're excited for it, and best of luck to all these baseball teams going forward as we got a chance to just preview. And we'll look more in depth, obviously, next week too, as the days get closer. We know a little bit more about who's going to be starting, who's going to be in the lineup too, and what those matchups are going to look like. It's going to be fun though once those days get closer.
Yeah, and Monday's going to be all about the baseball, because we have baseball semifinals on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, it's going to be heavy on softball because we got regional semifinals.
It's a softball Wednesday.
I'll be in Rootstown and not Rootstown, Ravenna. Sorry, I'll be right next to you. Maybe I'll just come do the show at your house.
We're just at my house, just in a room. You're just next to me, dude.
I'll come into the prison.
Yeah, there you go. But that should be fun too. That should be fun for a Wednesday.
Yeah, so we're going to have some fun next week, but we still have a little bit of the show to get to. We're going to take our next break, our third break of the day, and when we come back, we'll
preview some games that we're going to have on the we're going to preview the games on the network over the weekend. Not too many too, but we're going to preview those too, and then just talk about some coming up next week.
Jimmy Sutherland here, director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
How lucky are we to have not one, but two 18-hole Donald Ross Championship golf courses right here in our backyards. Mill Creek Golf Course was selected by Golf Week as one of America's 30 best municipal courses, continuing to challenge golfers of all levels and featuring PGA professionals, golf instruction, a players rewards club, kids programs, and a pro shop and grill room for a memorable golf experience. Call or click to schedule your tee time at Mill Creek Golf Course.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers. From sales to financing and even service, we'll help build your perfect vehicle
and lock in your trade value
while your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries. And when your vehicle needs service,
our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Now is the time to think about your future, where you want to go, what you want to be. Your future can start now at Kent State Salem or Kent State East Liverpool. We have programs that will open doors and provide opportunities for you to pursue your passion. We are affordable. We are close. You call it hometown. We call it Kent State University. Learn more at www.kent.edu/Columbiana. You belong here.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local.
Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. I'm looking to my my right, and I see the sun start to pop out. I'll tell you, this morning when I got here, it started to get real gloomy, real dark, real fast, and I said, "Oh no, not again!" But no, it didn't last long, and now the sun's shining out there, and I think we'll be good for baseball tonight.
Should be good too, as we have a couple games too. And stay tuned with us too. Sometimes, like we said, between now and Wednesday, a lot of softball teams, they might pick up games too. We already heard Urson.
Christina Dugan already told us that Urson picked up a game with Matthews, so we'll keep an eye on some schedules and opportunities to get some regular season games on the network for you guys in the next couple of days. We have some tonight. Ty, let's go over what's going to be happening tonight on the network. It's going to be a slow weekend with tournaments slowing down and getting more spaced out.
A lot of teams want to take their rest for this too. They want to rest up before the regionals and district semis.
But we do have Ysu Baseball. That game got pushed up a little bit. It's going on now, but it didn't start at 11. It started closer to 11:45 instead of 11. Ysu Baseball playing UIC currently. So you can head over to Richie Giuliano and check that one out. It's playing currently. So 1:43. It's been going on for about 2 hours. You know what? After we go through the schedule, I'll get a score update for you guys and see how YSU is doing. They won last night over UIC. Regular season baseball tonight. South Range traveling to Niles at 5 o'clock. It'll be Chris Colucci and Ray Samil on the call there. And then Springfield will be playing Ursuline on scene 1 at 5 o'clock. Dom O'Brien will be on the call for that one. One playoff game tonight. It is Mineral Ridge, and they are hosting St. Thomas Aquinas. Matt Mayer making the trip to Rams country to call that game. It is 9-9, gets you access to that game tonight as well because it's a playoff game. Tomorrow, just that YSU series finale against UIC scheduled for 12 o'clock, and that'll be Richie Giuliano on the call from Eastwood Field, the last game at Eastwood Field before the Horizon League tournament starts on Wednesday.
Yeah, and I mean, stay tuned with all of that, as we'll get you updated on any games as they shift or anything that gets opened up or added to the schedule as well. But just ahead of tournaments that are going to be starting Monday, Tuesday, and then regionals for girls softball start Wednesday.
Score update from YSU as at the end of the second inning, the YSU and UIC are tied at 3. Swarmer singled and scored on a ground out from Grow to in the second. So tied at 3. Snyder's coming in the hill and to go into the third. 2, 3, 4 due up in the UIC lineup to start the third inning. So that's where we are right now at YSU, tied up at 3 after 2. And once again, you can be checking that out on ysnlive.com/live. Richie Giuliano on the call.
Yep, he does a great job. We got a chance to pop on the show yesterday, too, to kind of preview this UIC matchup, too, and this UIC series with YSU. And winning last night is big for them, too, as far as playoff implications are concerned.
Well, it was because they just need to take care of business this weekend because the team right below them, Milwaukee, they're a game and a half ahead of them coming into this series. But Milwaukee was playing Wright State, so it kind of was understood that Milwaukee would probably struggle this weekend. So YSU just need to make sure to take care of business, and they did that last night with the win over UIC. The final score there, of course, was 6-4. So the Penguins got the win, and now they're just sitting pretty, and they're just trying to secure that spot on Wednesday for the Horizon League playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Penguins getting that big win, just got to keep taking care of business, and I mean, they should be A-okay for that spot.
What you have to do is get in the postseason, right? Get in, and then you have the chance to make some chaos. But you got to get in first.
We see it at all levels in baseball. It doesn't matter, pro, college, high school. You just got to get in it, and then anything happens.
I feel like the higher up levels you go, the more consistent that message is. Like college baseball, the talk is first just get into your conference tournament, but then just get into this big tournament, like get in the regionals, and then we can make some noise. Get into regionals. In professional baseball, just get in the playoffs, get in that wild card. Maybe we can make some noise. So all you have to do really for YSU, they just have to focus on getting in, and then the task ahead of them will be right in front, and they'll have the chance to make some chaos in that Horizon League tournament.
Yeah, no doubt. Wish best of luck to the Penguins, too, as we're obviously rooting for them, too. YSN represented Penguins, as Richie does a phenomenal job with them.
Tomorrow, they're the only show in town.
Yeah, so, I mean, stay tuned with it. We'll still have something on for you on Saturday, too. It's going to be a very quiet Saturday. But
by the way, it's my favorite weekend because it's softball regionals. So I'm going to have, like, the iPad up, the laptop up, the TV on. 4 screens of softball as the NCAA regionals get kicked off this weekend. And I'm looking at the schedule, and it's like there's hundreds of games on this weekend. And I'm going to be favorite weekend of the year by far. And I have a bracket challenge as well. So you can head over to my Facebook account if you're interested in doing a softball WCWS bracket challenge. And, we're going to have some fun with mayhem.
Anthony's like, if you want to get smoked by me, softball knowledge, you can sign up right here.
No, I'm going like the friend I started it with played for Texas A&M and played in the WCWS and has coached. So I'm going to get my butt kicked, So
it should be an exciting week next week too. Stay tuned to Running Point as we always are bringing on some very good, very interesting guest, I should say.
Next Monday, we have a very special guest. I'm going to promote it here, and I'm going to put it out in the airways. Monday at 12, Aaron Gabriel will come on to our show to help preview the softball regionals this week and talk about some of the players that she's able to coach and the teams and how this stage, how it gets bigger and how you mentally stay focused through it. And she's going to be a real good softball analyst for us to talk to on Monday to help get us ready for the softball regionals on Wednesday. So Aaron Gabriel, she'll be joining us from Tennessee. She's heading down there to watch the Volunteers in their regional play this weekend. So she'll be joining us from Tennessee on Monday at noon, and that'll be a real fun time on Monday. Don't miss it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll kick off with talking a little bit preview on these softball playoffs coming up on Wednesday, too, and then we'll get right into baseball because it's going to be a lot of baseball talk Monday and then Tuesday because that's when the district semis are. So we're going to know who's going to be in district championships. And then, of course, Wednesday is going to be a hectic softball day for you, my friend, especially. You're going to be doing, I think, double dipping, right?
You just have to go and do one game at 5, and it's at YSU. I guess that's not local for you because you live in Ravenna, so you still have an hour drive.
Yeah.
So at least I feel good about that.
A little bit less, about 40
Wait a
minutes.
minute, yeah. Why are you driving to Youngstown? I'm driving to Ravenna. We're just gonna pass each other.
Yep, we love it. That's why. Just I guess stay consistent with the teams.
I guess logistically, smartly would flip that, but I'm not. It's South Range. It's fit for you. It's just on brand.
Yeah, why not, right?
And plus, I get the double dip in Ravenna, so I get South Range Anderson, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't. I was really hoping I get the double dip.
It was so close, Ty. Like Boardman came so close.
Yeah, and I mean a great season for them, and obviously we wish the best of luck to all our teams and regionals on Wednesdays. I really hope we have a very successful YSN day.
Full disclosure, I had Game Changer up during my game last night, trying to just will Boardman to win that game when it was tied at 1 for the longest time. And I saw them with a couple runners on in the 5th, and I was like, "Let's go!" And it didn't work out. And it's the way that softball works, Sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's just the case. A lot of seasons starting to come to an end, and like I said, these senior saying byes to seniors doesn't ever get any easier at any level. I don't think any of us do or any year. I mean, for any of us either.
I'll tell you, I thought it was hard when I was just a fan, just watching these players, and but now you're invested in their success as a member of the media, and you're kind of pouring your energy into covering them. When they get in the seniors and they leave, it's a gut punch sometimes, especially these ones that you spend a lot of time covering, you for Fitch, South Range, Poland, the ones that you kind of are there for their whole careers. This is the second class that YSN has been there.
That's what I was going to mention.
Freshman to senior year. It gets rough.
Once it's it's been getting rougher since we've covered that we've crossed that 4-year threshold, because it's rough, obviously, saying bye to the players, for that whole season or 2 seasons. But when you spend that 4-year career and you're invested in players too, they become a part of the YSN family too. And that's at all levels too. I mean, we said to that big basketball class last season too, seniors, and that was hard as well too. But obviously we always wish the best of luck to all of our athletes.
What the things we do, and I think we do pretty well, is we keep in touch with the people that graduate from our YSN alumni, and if they're playing in college, we try to keep a steady eye on them. We try to support them the best we can, and if they don't, we try to support them in what they're doing, whatever they're pursuing, whatever career they're pursuing. We keep an eye on the people. It's not like you graduate from high school and we cut you off, you're done with you, and we're never going to talk to you again. It doesn't work like that. So that's one of the things I like about YSN, and I like about the team we've put together, because when you invest so much in players and you invest so much in these families, you don't just cut them off because they graduate high school.
Yeah, no doubt. You're a part of YSN for life. So,
and of course, if you ever want to work at YSN, doors wide open. We always love YSN alums to come back and work for us. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Shameless plug for employees. Let's go.
Absolutely. Tune in, though, next week. It's going to be a fun week of Running Point, too, as well as tune into the lone game I believe we have tomorrow with Richie covering it, YSU and UIC, as well as a couple games we got on the network tonight as well.
Just to reiterate the games that we have tonight, again, we have regular season baseball, 2 regular season baseball games, South Range at Niles and Springfield at Ursuline. That's on scene 1. And then UIC versus YSU baseball playing right now. And then we do have one playoff game tonight from baseball, and it is Middle Ridge hosting St. Thomas Aquinas. So you can check all that out on ysnlive.com for tonight. Tomorrow, just the YSU baseball. And, enjoy your weekend, because when we get back on Monday, it's go time.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be full speed ahead. The road gets shorter to Akron for both softball and baseball, and we're right there along for the ride.
Here we go. Buckle in, everybody. Casual Sports Podcast coming up next from 2 to 3, Power Hour from 3 to 4. Me and Ty, we're taking a 22-hour break, and we will be back on Monday. Aaron Gabriel will come on at noon to help us preview the softball season, softball regionals. Going to have some other interviews that we do over the weekend that to be featured on Running Point, and we're gonna have you covered on Monday with a lot of baseball talk as district semifinals get kicking.